In this episode, you'll discover why hitting your goals leaves you feeling hollow and how to build a life of meaning instead of solely milestones. Welcome to Energy Alignment for Entrepreneurs, the podcast helping entrepreneurs to be free from anxiety, stress, and tension through balancing emotions and consciousness expansion. Here's 3 things that you'll learn today. Number 1, why the car, the house, the promotion never satisfy the way you thought they would. Number 2, how goal-oriented living keeps you trapped in perpetual incompleteness. And number 3, the shift from destination-focused to presence-focused living. All right, let's start with the latter, the third point. In that shift from destination-focused to presence-focused living, it's almost like when you look at the topic, it's really an illusion of arrival. Why making it never hits home. And that's because we just push for the next flag post. There's nothing wrong with that. But the shift is important because instead of always seeking and never having and always wanting, you begin to see what you have. And that allows for your dreams to actually materialize. That's the most logically difficult part to comprehend. And that's because there's more to life than rational, linear, straightforward analysis and thought. In other words, the shift is on an energetic level, meaning that the world is not as it is, the world is as you are. And the better you get at meeting people where they're at and seeing the mirror-like nature of life, it's inherent. It's riddled within the essence, the framework, the foundation of the game that we call life. When you begin to learn and observe, you learn through observing. When you observe the unwritten and unseen governing laws, when you start to study that and discover it for yourself through your daily life, by being present, that's how you start to notice, oh wait, this is an energetic game. This isn't about force. This isn't about over structuralizing and over planning your life. Now, logically tie your camel, right? Fill up the air in your tires. You get a tire pressure signal, you get a check engine light, obviously, practical, straightforward, mechanical, deal with it. But what we're speaking of here is of a different essence, where what humanity needs is connection, right? You've heard this before. Humans just want to be heard, especially maybe, let's say you're a man and your wife comes home from work and she's talking about work, almost complaining about work. She doesn't want your answers. What she wants you to do is just listen to her. Like, you could have the best answers, but that's not what she needs. She just needs to be heard. She just wants to have some form of an outlet because she had a certain style or energy in her day. So ultimately, when you switch from destination focused to presence focused living, you're beginning to see that you can get at all the destinations that you wanted, but you get them faster, better destinations, the biggest, most mind-blowing dreams you ever could have materialized come from presence-focused living. As we lay that groundwork, we're 4 minutes in. Let's go to point number 2. How goal-oriented living keeps you trapped in perpetual incompleteness. See, this is why I wanted to move to point number 2, because I know we're going to have an opportunity to get more in depth on exactly what presence-focused living is. Now, goal-oriented living, why? Why does it keep you trapped in a perpetual incompleteness? It's almost what I said before. You're constantly looking outward. And again, I will staple this home, the necessity of both zooming in and zooming out. Now, when you zoom out, you take into account everything that is out of your control. You see that the game is a bit bigger than just force, right? So that's kind of what leads you to the nature of understanding, or at least being open to understanding the essence of power. Because force is like the petty kid who is showing passive aggressive behavior, right? Power is like the man who will walk right to you, look you in your eyes, and have a calm conversation. Or you'll be that man who's calm, you're being screamed at, someone's just screaming at you, and you'll just be the silent one, the one who is grounded, confident, able to stare into the depths of their soul and just listen. And in that, it's a it's not you're better than someone, but it is, man, I know who I am. So when we make this a bit more practical, the goal-oriented living, it's number one, always lack in scarcity, looking at what you want. And when you zoom out, you start to see, okay, there's a lot that I can't control. There is a lot that I also have in my realm of power. So I'm going to place my attention on that realm of where I have power, meaning the actions, the thoughts, the things you put into your mind, your life, your house, right? Do you dust? Do you clean? Do you take care of yourself? It's really a degree of awareness that is built through care and love. And you will never share what you don't have for oneself, right? You cannot give water if your cup is empty. So you end this perpetual incompleteness by starting to realize, okay, energy flows where attention goes. I'm going to put my attention on the things that continuously leave me feeling turbocharged, right? Okay, if I go and eat a bunch of bad food and just watch a movie and do nothing, how do I feel after? Again, I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm just saying for me, that would be a treat. That would be a celebration. That would be something I had to earn. Meaning, like, I worked hard in the day. I got some important big lever things done. And then, oh, yeah, she wants to watch a movie and go out to eat and do this and that. Beautiful. Cool. And again, there's levels to life. For example, what comes to me here is you have that cup metaphor. You put all the small stuff in first, then you don't have room for the big stuff. But if you put the big rocks in first, then the small stuff fits around the big rocks. That's what you want to do with your goals in life. The big stuff is your heart, your mood, your energy, how you feel, your authenticity, how in alignment you are. Being honest with people, being honest with yourself, your relationship when it's just you and you. Do you have habits that are healthy? Do you journal? Do you have books in your room? Do you read? Are you working on a project? Or have you questioned what your ikigai is? What's your natural talents? How can they fit into an evergreen market? What really excites you? You know, where are people always telling you you excel, or where do you naturally seem to excel? Right? Have those conversations with yourself, and then you'll be able to create a meaningful life which is goal oriented while being presence focused. So then you get the best of both worlds. This takes a awareness, an integrity, a openness, a surrendering to letting God show you and guide you. Because sometimes, like the Rolling Stones say, sometimes what you want isn't what you need. And then other times you know exactly what you need with a powerful clarity. And then it's just like that patience and that commitment, that devotion, that faith, that a willingness to act in alignment, which strengthens all which I've just listed. Now, point number 3, really, this is the first point, but we start from the bottom. Why the car, the house, the promotion never satisfy the way you thought they would. Now, on one end, they very much can satisfy, but it'll never be like you're done. And I think that's the problem with, oh, once I get this, then. Because it's this illusion of, oh, yeah, once I get this, then there's. No. You make a bunch of money, you get the house, you get the car, then you just have more responsibility, bigger problems. But the thing is, you're better. So then the problems, they're not really big because you're just good, right? So there's life, that's how life works, right? So that's the importance in presence-focused living. Because then You get the car, but you've been present, so you earn the car. You already created a meaningful life, and the car is just like a cherry on the top of the sundae. But you already you made the sundae first, okay? Same thing with the house, the promotion. When you do everything in your power every day to be a person who is aware of what they are putting out onto others, someone who self reflects, someone who moves with a form of stillness, meaning that your inward attention is so powerful. You see the essence of the butterfly effect, the ripple effect, and you start to change through the natural essence. In other words, you cannot step into the same river twice. We are always changing naturally. So when you get with the rhythm, you stop being dragged by it. Just like if you learn to swim, you're not like forcing yourself. You're not grabbing the water, right? You're letting the water, the current of life, move you, carry you, work through others. You're open, you're receptive. So the importance of all of that is this is about a identity shift fundamentally. And the car, the house, the promotion, if you get those from this identity of abundance and you are walking in faith and trust and power and courage, and then those things enter into your life, it's no coincidence. You have earned those things. Now, if you scheme and cheat others and you're just always focused on you and what you can get, and you're never considering how could this be a win-win-win situation? How could I share something helpful for another? You know, if there's no consideration and compassion for others in your journey to get the quote unquote dream, then the dream will tear you apart. You get the things, you realize you're so empty and broken. So for me, I'm 27. This message, if I really want to put it practically for anyone who lets these words speak to them, then I would say it's not about the pacing, baby. And I know that's hard because society sets almost these programs or expectations onto us when we're young that we should have certain things by a certain age and be a certain way. But honestly, the truth is that you're exactly where you're meant to be and that you're not alone and that you are fully taken care of. But you need to live a life where you can say those words and know that they are true. Because me saying the words, abracadabra, I create as I speak, I am sending you that power, that strength, that courage, that prayer, that energy, that guidance. But you are part of the job too. You're part of the mission. And that means that the way you live, the way you see yourself, your relationship to your thoughts, you have to do the work too. Okay? And the work is just in receiving. The work is in a abundant variety of actions and moments. Now, everything can change instantly, but you need to position yourself wisely, okay? And that just, it means really seeing that the world is as you are. And when you emanate this strength, this power, this freedom, this lack of attachment, this abundance, when you let go of the darkness, the weakness within you, you notice it first, then you, by noticing, it leaves. You cancel it out, you neutralize it. Then all the material things, the relationships, the beautiful life, it comes. But do what you can to be grateful, okay? There's been so much that I've taken for granted through being in a blindness of force and rush and pressure throughout this journey of internal and external expansion for myself. And if I could say anything to you, just please make sure that you remind yourself of what you have and what you're grateful for so that you don't take things for granted. Because there are people in your life who are so special right now, and you are special. And I love you. I don't know the last time you heard that. I know certain seasons in life, you don't hear it much. I definitely went through that, but from the bottom of my heart, whether you're male, female, that's not the level in which we're speaking here. I love you, spirit to spirit. And you are strong, and no one can ever take that from you. You have the power, the courage, the strength to choose, to realize, to wake up, and to change. And I'm sending you those prayers, that energy, because you're not alone. Remember, just breathe. Whenever something feels terrible, you always have that breath. And that breath, it'll move you. It'll help you. It'll create that space. I love you very much.